Hey folks, I'm Tennessee Brando with the MeidasTouch Network. You know, I hear it's tough being the child of a famous celebrity. Over the years, I've heard people talk about what it was like to have a famous parent and how hard it was to escape their shadow and how hard it was to carve your own path and make your own name for yourself. But one person that just absolutely loves being in his dad's shadow and can't get enough of it is none other than Don Jr. He seems to have all the mannerisms down, all the hand movements, all the speaking patterns, and he seems to spew the same talking points and the same verbal diarrhea that his famous dad loves to spew. And in this clip I'm going to show you, he is now talking about the latest boogeyman that MAGA is facing. And these are dark days because this is something MAGA has to face and they have to stand up to. It's a dreaded enemy, a new enemy that the left has cooked up and has brought down on their heads, folks. It is none other than pronouns in the military. Yeah, that's right. Don Jr. says that we need to get back to learning how to fight wars instead of talking about pronouns. Take a look at this clip of verbal diarrhea, and then I'm going to try to come back and decipher it for you.
Maybe if we had competent people actually learning how to fight wars rather than learning their pronouns. If we weren't constantly talking about somehow diversity making us a stronger fighting force, even though no one can credibly tell us why, rather maybe just get stronger, get better at shooting, train to do those things rather than the PC woke bullshit, maybe that would be better off.
So according to Don Jr., we need competent people learning how to fight wars. Sounds to me like he's implying that they're not competent now. Sounds to me like he's saying that we don't have any competent people in the military, that all the military is doing is just sitting around learning how to say pronouns, and that's all they're learning about. That's an absolute slap in the face and an insult to every member of our armed forces. And then he goes on to talk about how we need to stop talking about diversity making us a stronger force, whatever that even means. Well, I'll tell you what it means. It's not that diversity makes us a stronger force. It's that embracing and accepting each other's diversity makes us a stronger force. And when I say accept our diversity, I don't mean that you have to convert and live a lifestyle that's not yours. I'm not saying that you have to go over here and completely, go against everything you believe. I'm simply saying that you live your life and you embrace this person living their life and their right to do so. And you don't support ideas and you don't support politicians that wants to mandate rules on their lifestyle. Why? Because you don't want no one doing that to you. So whenever we say diversity makes us stronger, we're not saying, Don Jr., that you have to accept everything you dislike in this world or everything you disagree with. We're simply saying that diversity does make us stronger when we learn to accept it and learn to work together for the greater good. And then he goes on to say, get better at shooting and get away from the PC woke BS. It's like, really? I mean, he sounds like a kid who just got done playing with his G.I. Joes, and that's the extent of what he knows about the military. He's watched Gomer Pyle USMC maybe once or twice, and that's all he knows about the military. You would think Don Jr. would want to try to escape the shadow of his father. You would think that he would want to get out from under it. You would think that one of Donald Trump's children would say, hey, I really don't approve of my dad. You would think that one of them would maybe want to get out from under that shadow. I know I would. I can't imagine what it would be like having to live up to that every day. You talk about in these parts of the world, the most famous juniors, there's Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Hank Williams Jr. Yeah, they had a hard time escaping their father's shadow. But I don't know if those kids will ever escape the shadow of Donald Trump because of the stain that he's put on their country. And you would think one of them would want to say, hey, I want to carve my own path. I want to step outside of this shadow. I want to make my own name for myself. But not Don Jr. No, he's going to continue to fight all the culture wars. He's going to continue to talk about woke and all the bullshit. And he's going to create these boogeymen for people to get upset about. And that's all this is. What drives me nuts about these kind of arguments is the military is competent. The military is doing a damn good job protecting us and doing anything that they're called to do, okay? If they're having a discussion about pronouns, so be it. It doesn't make them weaker. It doesn't make them any less strong. What this is Don Jr. attempting to make Biden look weak. That's all this is about. If he can convince his flock that, hey, look, man, he's even weakening the military talking about this woke BS. He's even weakening them. If he can get people talking about that, man, I never would have thought my granddaddy, I can't believe if my granddad's around to see us, he'd be ashamed of himself. It's absolute bullshit. It's all total bullshit. designed to divide and distract. That's all it is. The military is just fine. They don't need our help. They sure as hell don't need the help of Don Jr. or the advice of Don Jr. As long as Don Jr. wants to stay in his father's shadow, let him stay right there. Because that would be a hell of a place to be. But folks, be sure to hit that subscribe button here on MeidasTouch. Let everyone know where we're at. Share these videos and get them out there. I'm Tennessee Brando. You guys keep tuning in here and I'll keep telling you the truth.
Hey Midas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.